And you can, when you're trying to shit in a bush, what's a knife going to do to help you with that?
Fend off, or you could like take care of the people who come
Fend off
outside
drunk
and catch
people. Yeah.
This is my spot. When the other guy comes to join you.
You're just swatting with your hand up with your knife out.
I got a knife finger. And I got a shit spot. You get out of here.
Your buddy with
I
the sports
guarantee
finger comes
you would-
up and helps you out.
You would never get invited
everybody's
to
got
another
all-
party.
Yeah,
again.
everyone at the party.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Moving Forward podcast. We are back with the full group of guys. We are back with Mike, Logan, Adam, and Sean. Quick plug real quick. We are plugging our Instagram and Twitter, which is Moving Forward Podcast, the forward being FWD. That's where we post a lot of memes from the last week's episode. Has some great ones of Mike being our back-to-back champion, and Sean only loving Field of Dreams baseball. And then also, yes, corn, just loving corn. And then also on Twitter, that's where we post our polls of when we do a draft and everything like that. Sean is going to be a lot more active next week on the TikTok game. And of course, we always post the video version on YouTube. So let's get right into it. Our word of the day this way. The word of the day today is winnow, right? Winnow.
Correct. Yes.
Yes, winnow, to remove people or things that are less desirable. So Adam and Logan still haven't held up to their end of the bargain of their shotgun of them losing the draft. Wearing sandals was an all-time bad pick. But I have not heard more. Let's just talk about this real quick. I have not heard more people who have texted me from the outside about the show saying that they loved the draft, but wearing sandals isn't really an activity and has been an all-time bad pick of a draft.
That was one of those things where I didn't really set in the moment. And then once I had some moments to digest what I just heard and saw, it got a whole lot worse. And my God, I think my toast pick got quickly overtaken for worst draft pick of all time.
Yeah, you're welcome, Sean.
Thanks, guys.
I still think toast is worse, to be
I
honest with
agree.
you.
I couldn't agree more.
Find yourself.
Yeah.
No.
Can we make a comment about how much I won that draft by?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the first one, you and I were pretty
Crickets.
close, but the second one,
I
you
doubled
pretty
everybody up.
dominated.
I'm the voice of the people.
Yeah, you are the voice. You had the first pick, and you did an absolute great job because we all fucked up by not taking your second pick in any of our picks coming back around. I'm pretty sure that basically won it for you, getting a boat day and bonfire back to back in the same round. But wearing sandals might be one of the best things of summer, but having it be an activity is the part that I'm still stumbling upon. But
I think the problem is we let Bonfire slip to the second round. Once
Yeah.
I saw that one back too, that was honestly worse than their pick. That's a staple of any summer.
yeah, and our good friend Ian also texted us saying the fact that we didn't take barbecue was an absolutely misfire, really fucked up there. And then I had a old Kyle Scott, who's obviously a little bit older than us, saying that golfing as an activity. I think Sean said that we messed up at the point by not taking that.
I had that on my list, but just didn't cut it. I thought amusement
Yeah.
park would be better. I don't know. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Well, it's all right. Well, the loser, whoever doesn't get in the word of the day, winnow, to remove people or things that are less desirable, will do a shotgun video and have to post an embarrassing picture. Obviously, the pictures of "Oh joy, do I feel better" and Adam's little meme image were pretty funny, but we'll hopefully see the chugging video soon. But first, the NBA Summer League finished. We saw a lot of winners and losers, or NBA, like the first teams and the second teams. We saw some guys who weren't expected. We saw some guys who we might have thought been on the first team follow the second team. But I have a few guys here that I'd like to rattle off, and I'd even like to hear maybe Adam and Logan's opinion on these guys. Whether you
I have
think,
a quick thing before we start this.
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Quick one. Did the summer league just fall off as hard as I thought it did?
It did. It fell off.
Anyone
really
else
hard.
notice that? Because I was really into it for the first like two games, and then after the second game, I didn't know what was going on. And I just checked Twitter the other night. They were like, "Oh, it's the championship."
No,
I don't know how that
your
happened.
the problem was because of COVID, they usually do a huge tournament that leads to a champion, but because of COVID, they only did a championship game, which was a huge blunder by them. They really fucked that whole thing up as far as the playoffs.
Jake,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Mike. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna also say like it sucked that like Cade didn't play a couple of the games too, because that was really like what I was turning my TV on
Yeah.
for.
What did we get? Did we ever get an explanation for that? Just one day
I
he
think
was
it
just
was like
gonna
his
boom.
calf or something.
I think it was
Strained calf.
I think it was basically they weren't going to be playing in the championship. So after
Yeah.
you lose the first 2 games, like what's the point in playing? So he just sat out the last 2, played 3 games. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, it opened it up for our real best rookie of the year, Luka Garza. So I'm not mad about
Yeah.
it. Get him more touches.
All right, transitioning into this boomer bust segment, I took 5 guys who kind of stuck out to me in this NBA Summer League. Some second year guys, some first year guys who I'm going to rifle off real quick. You guys can give me your reason, either boom or bust on these players. So the first one is Obi Toppin. He had an absolutely insane Summer League, was absolutely amazing for the Knicks. He didn't play very much. They were a playoff team last year, and he didn't play all that much during the playoffs, probably had around 15 minutes a game. Boom or bust on Obi Toppin, an older rookie last year at 21 years old, kind of old for a rookie. Boom or bust on Obi Toppin.
I don't think you can like gauge if he's going to be a boomer bust just based off that summer league because he's basically a varsity player playing against JV players.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he'll be good, but I don't think he's going to be like a superstar.
I think the Knicks have a very crowded front court too. So I don't know if he's going to find that kind of playing time that he's going to need to really boom in the next year or two.
Yeah, I think he's more of a player that when he's hot, he's hot. And when he has confidence, like he used to have in Dayton when he was just dominating the A10 and all those smaller schools. When he has in a situation like that, I think the Summer League is kind of comparable. He's really, really good. And we've seen it. But we've seen him in the NBA already be not very good. So I don't know if this was a step or this was just him playing against inferior competition, like Adam just said. But for right now, I'm just going to stay. Can I stay level with him? I don't know if he's going to be boom or bust.
I think that's a really fair point. I think staying level with him is a smart idea just because, like, obviously he's going to have an entire year to prove himself, whether this summer league was indicative of what he's going to be able to do next year or if he's going to end up fading away come playoff time. Because the Knicks are going to be a playoff team. It's just going to become like at the end of the season, will be he getting playoff minutes? And I'm not 100% sure if he will be getting playoff minutes come the end of the season. Moving on to a guy who was supposed to be a top 5 pick in this draft, but fell deep down. I think he was in the late teens. Jalen Johnson had an absolutely amazing summer league. What are your guys' thoughts on Jalen Johnson? Hasn't played an actual NBA game yet, but Jalen Johnson, boom or bust?
I think he's going to boom. Just from what I watched him, he looked incredible. And he just looked like an NBA player. He had the size, he had the athleticism, he had the shooting. And I think it's a classic case of people getting too hung up on him leaving or like him not having that competitive drive that somehow uses like a statistic to measure players nowadays. Like, I don't know. He looked very competitive when he was just dunking all over teams. So I definitely think he's going to boom. He looked great.
I think he's a good fit for the Hawks too. I think he can really come in and do some stuff.
They need
I
a
like
guy
him to
like that
boom.
off the bench other than
Yep.
like Berger who can like make a difference. I mean, they have Cam Reddish still, but having 2 guys kind of with similar builds like that will only help them.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
Basically the same exact player as Jalen Johnson.
I really like the Hawks for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
I think
Hawks
they're going to be very good.
The Hawks are going to be really, really good. I like Jalen Johnson, and I'm also just kind of a sidebar here. I also really like Sharif Cooper. I feel like he fell for no reason, and he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. I think he's going to be a great backup point guard or backup guard on that team because they tried the whole Chris Dunn thing. It didn't really work last year. They had Rondo at the beginning of the year. They traded him away. Chris Dunn hasn't really been working. So I think both Sharif Cooper and Jalen Johnson, they really hit on their draft picks this year. The Hawks, a team that already was in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think they might have overachieved, but I think they're going to make that next step to being like a top 4 team in the Eastern Conference next season.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Sharif Cooper is on my radar immediately because I don't know. In the NBA playoffs, you really need a backup point guard that's either going to come in and defend or he's going to play make. And he's definitely a playmaker. So I can definitely see him have a role on this team next year.
Me too.
Speaking of a playmaker, a guy who dropped 92 points in, I'm pretty sure, the Portland Pro-Am League, Peyton Pritchard. He had a lot of hype coming into the start of last season. a guard out of Oregon who was a really, really good player in college. And then last year, as the Celtics kind of progressively got worse, he kind of slipped away. Peyton Pritchard had an awesome summer league. What's our thoughts of Peyton Pritchard going forward? Because I don't think he's like a guy who can really boom for you like the first two guys where they could be maybe close to like all-star caliber, but could Peyton Pritchard be a valuable backup or starter in the NBA for a long time? Personally, I don't think so, but I'm curious of what your guys' thoughts are.
Ooh. I guess I'll take it first, but I don't know. He's a tough one too because he only can do so much with his size. Like at a certain point in the NBA, you're not going to make a difference at his size. I don't know how tall he is, really, like 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 6'2". But other than Chris Paul, we've never really seen someone that size dominate in big moments in playoff games like him, especially with his limited athleticism. So I think he's going to be a nice player. I just don't know. Again, I don't know how to define him. I don't know if I can define him as a boom or a bust. He might just be the player he is right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be anything insane, but I mean, like him and Dennis Schroeder are going to have a little battle this year. We'll see who comes out on top of that, but I liked him. I mean, he averaged 20 and 9 in the summer league, which is pretty solid. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see with him. I'm not really sure.
We need more tape on him. I'll say boom for now.
Need more
I'll give
tape.
a solid
Boom
on him.
Huge boom.
I'll sign my name next to Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact, like that one summer league, whatever pro-am that they were playing in, the fact that he scored 92 and then Mike James from the Brooklyn Nets last year scored like 60 something or other. Like, do they even like, is this basically like the AAU scene that I've seen from the last couple like years where it's basically just like score?
I was just saying, I don't know how long the quarters are, but I don't know how you're scoring 92 in any capacity in any game.
I know.
That's impressive.
Must have been playing like grade schoolers. That's a lot of points.
Just random people they find on the street.
Yeah, they're basically just finding heroin addicts from the streets of Portland and putting them out there to try to guard Peyton
Playing on
Pritchard.
little Pike Soups. Yeah. I haven't seen any footage from that 92 point game. So
still the greatest dunk I've ever seen is Joey Gossett over Mike Gottschalk in my basement on a mini hoop.
Who could forget?
Yeah, I forgot.
I'd never forget. Never forget. Moving on to our next guy, a guy was a surprise in the draft to everybody. His team ended up winning the NBA Summer League, the first ever 2-time champions of the Summer League from the Sacramento Kings. Davion Mitchell. No one really thought that that's where the Kings were going to go with so many guards. They have Halliburton, they have Fox. They even picked up DeLon Wright last year. They have a lot of different guys who play the point guard or shooting guard position, but they took Davion Mitchell and he was an absolutely defensive stud. Like, I don't want to say either boom or bust for this guy because it's almost like what will his opportunities be, especially with so many different guys in this backcourt. So your thoughts on Davion Mitchell coming into this upcoming year? Because it's a confusing kind of situation going on in Sacramento right now with so many guards.
Yeah,
I really like Davion Mitchell. Oh, sorry. No, you go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say it really depends on what the Kings are going to do because, like, I don't even know if they could slide Tyrese to the 3 and then have a backcourt of De'Aaron Fox and then Davion Mitchell. I don't know. That'd be pretty undersized. But if they did that, then he would have a good opportunity. But, yeah, if you're playing behind Tyrese and Fox, then I don't know how many minutes you're going to be able to get. But if he does get minutes, I could see him, I don't want to say like a Gary Payton, but like a Gary Payton light.
He's Gary Payton. He's the next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sign your name to that. But honestly, I don't know. I've always been high on Davion. I was advocating for the Warriors to draft him at 6 before the season even started, but he looked amazing, dude. He looked good on both ends. His shot looks good. I don't know. He's a little bit older. I just don't get why the Kings drafted him. They literally just drafted a backup point guard because you're not going to trade Fox away. They just gave him a huge extension or a huge contract, but I don't get it. I love the player, but I don't love the fit of where he's at right now.
I think he fits, like he fills a lot of De'Aaron Fox's like defensive holes, but I don't know. It's just another banner for the Kings. You got too many of them now. Good for them, dude.
Yeah, the
all-time summer league.
They could have just drafted Sengun and been fine. That's like exactly what they needed, and he looks like he's gonna be a stud.
Yeah,
the Kings just suck.
Yeah, they really need a defense though, and like Sengun is not really he's not a defensive cornerstone. Even though I like him, I would have drafted him.
Unless
and
they're going to
just
start
dealt with it.
Davion Mitchell, their defense is going to start off on the bench for 90% of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird pick for sure. But
Like
that's the Kings. It results in banners.
Is a starting lineup of probably, if I had to guess, Fox, Halliburton, Barnes, Bagley, and Holmes really that good defensively? It's pretty awful. It's pretty bad. But moving on to our very last guy, a guy who I think could really, really boom depending on the situation coming in this upcoming season. I'm talking about Tyrese Maxey. I think Tyrese Maxey could be absolutely huge next year for the Philadelphia 76ers, depending on how this Ben Simmons situation plays out. Do they trade him? Do they keep him? Are they going to keep on bringing Tyrese Maxey off the bench? One of the weaknesses of the 76ers has always been their bench play. So I'm curious, do we see Maxey really booming and maybe pushing them to make this trade a little bit more? Or is Maxey going to digress and saying, maybe we do need to keep Simmons. Maybe we need to keep this guy for our bench. What do you think is the future of Tyrese Maxey in the Philadelphia 76ers?
I hope they fucking get rid of Ben Simmons. I'm so sick of Ben Simmons. And I would love to see somebody who's like a competent offensive player play with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go boom with Maxey. I think he's a really effective player, and he has that like it factor when he gets on the court. Every single time he came in during the playoffs or when I watched him during the regular season, he just did something. Like defensively, offensively, he just seemed to make an impact any time he got on the court. So I'm going to go boom with him. And then, yeah, like Mike said, Ben Simmons needs a fresh start. Just lay him out to pit, please. Put him out of his misery. He looks miserable all the time.
No, he looked really happy when he crossed over that like basketball player.
I was just about to say that. I saw that Twitter clip. It is like, what NBA point guard can you get downhill like that? And I was like,
every single one of them
against the JV high school possible player and nobody standing in the paint in like a 2-on-2 situation. I'd say most athletic.
I could do that move without the dunk. Get me on an 8-foot hoop. I'll do the move with the dunk. Like it's not like.
Yeah, then maybe in your junior year prime, maybe you get up high enough to maybe get that 2-hand rim grazer, and then you're basically Ben Simmons at that point.
Dude, it was like it was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And Ben Simmons is he's the king of posting those awful clips on Twitter and trying to get like the conversation about him being better.
But what about the video of him and Rondo going back and forth hitting like 8 threes in a row? That was pretty.
Rondo, I'm just gonna say this right now. Rondo's gonna shoot 50% from the 3-point line, and that video convinced me this year.
Yeah, wide open threes.
Those videos get me every single time. Like when the hoodie metal stuff was going around, I was kind of thinking in my back of my head,
borderline all-star.
What if Melo's the MVP this year?
I remember Andre Drummond had those videos, and he would just be banging back to back corner threes, and I'm like, whoa, watch out next year.
But after he hit those corner threes, did he go immediately into a DJ booth and just spin some records and dap up some CMU white kids?
Yeah. It just goes to show you that like how good NBA players are, because Rondo and Ben Simmons are two of like the worst shooters to come into the league in a long time. I mean, Rondo's better, but like to see them like cash and threes like that is crazy. Just fuck Ben Simmons, though. I'm so sick of him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very sick of all the Ben Simmons talk. Like, Embiid just signed this massive extension, and I think if I was him, I wouldn't sign that extension without knowing that Simmons is eventually going to get moved. Like, what's stopping you from at this point just like starting Maxey and trading like Simmons for like somebody comparable, like TJ or CJ McCollum, something like that. I don't know.
You're gonna say TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell.
The two names got mixed in my head. I do apologize.
Yeah,
it's okay, Jake.
Yeah. Well, they have very similar names.
They do,
but they look quite different and are two different people. But that will wrap.
Trade though. Is that a fair trade?
Yes.
For TJ.
TJ, no. CJ, yes.
As much as I hate Ben Simmons, like he's still like one of the best defenders in the league. So
that is true. But also the fact that he won't dunk in the fourth quarter when he's 2 feet away from the rim, still that kind of downgrades his defensive abilities. But that will wrap up our boom or bust segment. The NBA Summer League was a lot of fun to watch, like Sean said, for maybe the first 2 games and kind of fizzled out. Like, I love NBA Summer League, and I was super excited this year, especially with the Pistons having such a good Summer League team, and they really fumbled the bag. Like the best team the Pistons have ever had in the Summer League, and they really just messed up the entire system with no playoffs and everything. It gave me no rooting interest after the Pistons lost their first 2 games. Like, you're only going to take 2 teams to play in the championship. We can't even have like a 8-team playoff format. Like, it just died out pretty quickly, but NBA really fucked that one up.
Hey,
What was
Cade and
the-
Jalen was awesome. That was one of the best Detroit sports moments of the last like 10 years. So at least we got that.
I was also kind of surprised you didn't like mark down Michael Beasley for your boomer bust players. Who knows what's going to happen with that guy?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch Michael Beasley very much play for the Portland Trailblazers during
He
this
averaged 9 points a game as a 62-year-old man.
Boom! Boom!
Dude, I think he said once that he could easily average 30, and I kind of believe him. I think he's to the point where he just doesn't respect anyone so much that he would just, I don't know. I feel like he could get 35 on any given night. Like, plug him into an NBA team this coming season. Michael Beasley could get you 35.
Michael
Right.
Beasley is
Level, I
he's
don't
not
give
even
a
going to
fuck
make the
about him.
he's not even going to make the team coming off the summer league.
No,
All right.
no, that's what I'm
35.
saying. He can't
Crazy
I'm saying
9
one
points per
game. One single game, Michael Beasley could come in and get you 30 points, and that's it. Like, he's
All
a
right,
hired
hand
gun.
up. We went to a long time ago. We went to a Pistons versus Warrior games, and we watched Josh Smith have the worst NBA game of his entire life, and he almost had a triple double. So, what does that really say about how effective?
Michael Beasley's not
player
even going to
could be.
make a roster.
No, I'm not. You're missing my point. I'm just saying, I think he's one of the limited guys that could not be on a roster. You could call him up at his house and say, hey, Mike, we need you for this coming game. Just one game, though. He just comes in without any warm-up, just comes out, gets 30 just because he doesn't give a shit, and then walk out.
All right,
Attitude,
all
man.
right. I'm wrapping this up. I think Sean has sun poisoning from being at the Tigers game all day. But we'll wrap up this Boomer
Give me-
Bust segment. He's becoming
get some water.
hysterical. And speaking of good things, we are now transitioning into our love-hate category. And thank you. Oh, thank
That
you.
was a sick
Thank you.
transition,
Thank
Jake.
you. Thank you. You know, I went to 4 years of MSU for that. But
You're really
speaking of
winnowing
one of
down
the
the
things,
competition with your skill.
yeah, speaking of some of the things that I really, really love this week, it's going to be drinking while podcasting. A couple of us have some drinks going on right now. I took off work on Friday because the day you hear this episode, Friday, it will be my birthday. So I took the day off, and I've just been hammering drinks while putting together an IKEA bed set, bed frame and everything. So I've been chugging drinks basically for every single step of an IKEA book that I finished through where I have to
Oh my
screw in
god.
something else. And I've been through like 7 or 8 White Claws in a matter of like an hour and a half. And I've been hosting, and I think I've been doing a pretty decent job for kind of in my head feeling like I'm a little sloshed. So I don't know.
Good for you, buddy. You deserve it.
Yeah,
Fuck
thank you.
IKEA
That's
furniture.
probably the only way to assemble furniture, is just to be pissed drunk doing it.
Yeah, especially if it's from IKEA.
Yeah, like the shit is so cheap. And like I got in my bed for the first time and I sat down and I thought it basically was going to break in half. I don't know if that's me being a fat ass or how cheap the furniture is, but it's just like, I don't know. It was
Dude, I
fun.
had
It made it
I
more
had
fun.
an IKEA desk one time. I assembled completely. I finished it, but I realized it was backwards. And I tell you what, I've never felt that sort of rage in my life. I almost just sent it out the window.
When I first moved out here, I went to IKEA 5 times in the first 9 days I was in California because I kept ruining furniture and having to take it back. I ruined a bed, I ruined 2 nightstands, I ruined a coffee table, and I ruined a dresser.
How in the world did you not just drive off the Golden State Bridge after that?
I was so fucking close. I almost put a drill through the wall when I ruined the bed because I had been sleeping on a floor for like 4 days.
Yeah.
It's like a IKEA trauma meeting.
Fuck IKEA. That's my first hate.
This is like our therapy session.
Well, yeah, I felt like I had to get something because like Mike, I was basically like had my bed like on the floor and I would start my day with basically just rolling out of bed and then like slowly standing myself up and just being like, fuck, I hate my life. But now I can just like at least stand up from my bed. I don't have to like roll around on the floor like that scene from Always Sunny where he's rolling around in the supply closet. I just felt like a slug person. And you know, now life is a little bit better, I guess. Even though I feel like the next time I move, this like bed frame's falling apart. I know for sure it's just gonna come undone.
God, I hope so. That'd be fucking hilarious. But that you had to build it though. The mattress on the ground, that's some like deadbeat behavior. Not saying you're a deadbeat, but like that's behavior of a
Thanks.
deadbeat.
Thanks. No, I'm done.
I'm not calling you a deadbeat.
I'm not
Jake.
taking
I'm
any
saying,
more
like-
slander. Move on to somebody else's love. Somebody fucking take it. Go ahead. I'm a deadbeat.
Do you want to go, Mike?
Mike, you muted yourself.
I hear you.
Here, somebody else go first. I gotta work one out real quick.
All right. We haven't heard much from Logan this episode. So Logan, what is your love for this week?
My love for this week is going to be OnlyFans. So OnlyFans has recently banned all sexually explicit content from their website.
Yep.
I don't think it's happened yet, but it's going to be coming up in the next few weeks or months.
Yeah, they're really winnowing down the amount of women on that website.
Good, Jake. Good job. You were the final
Nice.
one.
We did.
Congratulations. But
Nice job.
Yep. But that's pretty much like Home Depot not selling wood. So they're pretty much digging themselves into the ground, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot of people are going to be searching for jobs at McDonald's now that have big titties.
I'm ashamed to say this, but I really read into what exactly OnlyFans is removing.
Yeah.
They're not removing. They're not removing nude.
This is important information for you.
Figure out what a subscription is.
Jake's
going to be paying for.
My hate of the week.
Jake's
is
Jake's whole
letting-
life,
my
his
hate
whole
of
life
the-
flashed before his eyes.
I was bored at work, so I was reading into what it was about. But my hate of the week is letting everyone know on this podcast how horny I am all the time. But no, so basically I was reading into it, but it's not going to eliminate nude photos. It's only like sexual penetration between two people. So it's only like porn, but
So only the good
So
stuff.
you're good.
yeah, only the good
It's
stuff.
only the stuff you want to see.
Yeah.
Perhaps the OnlyFans
Thank
for
God.
really like,
Thanks.
getting rid of their most popular thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're really taking a horrible chance.
Yeah, that's got to be the clip of the day. But moving on, Sean, what's your love for today?
Wait, can I go back to the OnlyFans thing one thing?
Yeah, sure. Let's turn it back around. I thought we were getting this thing moving the other direction. Let's
I
hear
just
what you got to say.
got a visual of Jake seeing that story.
No!
Actually dropping to his knees.
He's
Checking
calling to
the-
cancel all his credit cards.
Calling
My God, why?
He's got a separate debit card for it, I bet.
dead.
You know, like
His dad got a joint card.
like that scene from Star Wars when Anakin starts, or like when all the Jedi start dying in Episode 3, and Yoda like stumbles and falls to the ground. That
I
was
love
me.
that one.
I was Yoda. I was like, oh my, there's a disturbance in the Force.
Oh shit, God. Good.
Oh,
All right,
Okay.
Sean, go ahead.
So, all right. For my love of the week, I was at a baseball game today, and my love is doing baseball banner when I don't know what I'm talking about in baseball. So, like every once in a while, someone would hit the ball and be like, "Man, that's got some pop on it," and like three dads would all turn around and like nod their heads at me, and they're like, "Yeah, oh man, you see him swing the bat?" There's like little comments like that. I mean, I was right next to the left fielder too, and whenever he went for like a grounder or a fly pop, I'd be like, dig, get there. So I think he heard me, and I think I made a difference today. But yeah, that was hilarious. No idea what I was talking about.
I have nothing to say.
As a former
I'm
baseball
also-
player, I can assure you that there are only two things you need to know as a baseball banterer. If someone hits a good hit, you just need to say that's a rope. If you say that's a rope, you
Yep,
sound like
that
you've
was
been.
one of my staples today.
Yep, yeah. If you say that, people will think you've been playing baseball since you were 4.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good one. And then if someone like swings and misses or something, you just got to say, "Oh, he pulled his head." That makes you sound like you know every swing mechanic in the
Class is
book.
like, he took his eye off the ball. He's looking in left field before the ball even hits the mitt.
Yep.
God damn it.
See,
No,
Sean, the
no.
more you're doing this baseball banter thing, you sound like somebody from the 1920s who's trying to like rob a bank or something like that. You just gotta, yeah, see, you pull his head a little bit to the side. Yeah,
hey, bada, swing.
yeah, swing, you dirt ball. All right, Adam,
Slapping
what's
a newspaper on the railing. Come on, you.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go
and
Brooklyn Dodgers.
Every single time they threw at anyone on our team, I was booing my heart out. I was going, They had to keep me from climbing on the field. I was livid.
Did you boo on the pickoffs too?
What?
Did you boo on the pickoff?
Oh, every single. Oh,
Yep,
that's
good.
fun.
That's a staple. Yep.
Why are you trying to hold the runner, buddy? Just do your job.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Worry about yourself.
I don't want to be there any longer than you do. You're making this longer for all of us.
You're not gonna get him out throwing on the other base. God, now I'm on fire right now. I wish I had these earlier. The whole section would have been applauding. All right, that's mine. I'm done.
All right, Adam, what's your love for this week?
My love for this week is having 2 air fryers in your kitchen because you can cook so much chicken.
Oh,
So little time.
So true. There's been a slaughter of chickens at this apartment.
Shout out to air fryers. Those things are the shit, and I miss having one.
Oh, I know. I can see Adam just sitting in his kitchen in like a little chair, and there's 3 air fryers going on.
Look at these babies go.
Getting so much done right now.
Yeah, meals for 2 weeks.
We need to have an air fryer company sponsor us.
oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we're
Anybody
good.
can sponsor us. We would take any sponsorship at this point of anyone, please.
I'll pay you to sponsor you. Think about it.
Whoa.
Like,
Okay, I thought about it. I'm confused. Mike, what's your love for this week?
My love is LaMelo Ball's business acumen. There was a story that came out a couple days ago that he was renting out his Rolls Royce to women that wanted to flex at their birthday parties.
Genius
LeVar-
move.
Yeah,
Jeez.
genius move for a guy who didn't go to college. LeVar Ball is the greatest father of all time for teaching his son about passive income.
He
That's
said he has.
making
Yeah,
That's making your money work for you 101.
yeah. He hasn't spent a dime of his NBA money. Not a dime.
he
Nope.
made 3 Rolls Royces back already.
Yeah.
Goddamn genius.
Yep.
That's why you
So
don't
that
go
was
to
mine.
college, kids. That's why
Yeah,
you
don't go to
Good for
college.
you.
All you have to do is buy a Rolls Royce and rent it out. Like, it's not that hard.
My love might also be LaMelo Ball again because there was that rumor that he was dating Tiana Trump. That's about it. So
Do you guys see
I
that
don't know
shit,
who that
that
is,
shit he
but-
said about going to school? I don't forget. I
Yeah.
forgot what he said, but
He said the same,
It
like
was-
the typical shit.
yeah, it was funny.
Just be
Yeah.
good at basketball.
yeah, be good at basketball.
yeah.
So my hate for this week also kind of correlates to the Charlotte Hornets. My hate is 2K ratings, not just for the fact that they just won't give us gameplay and improve NBA 2K every single year. They just do this whole thing where they release the ratings after a week. It's the fact that they didn't put Miles Bridges as a top 5 dunker in the NBA. And I am outraged by this. Easily a top 5 dunker. And the fact that they put John Morant, I know he's a guard, but Miles is a better dunker than John Morant. Come on.
I mean, realistically, who's a better dunker than Miles Bridges?
not
Zion?
many people. Maybe Zion. Yeah.
Like, other than that, who is it?
And yeah, I don't know. John Morant's got a case. He
Yeah.
floats.
Okay.
He floats.
Miles Bridges has pulled out like Euro step windmills in games.
And then he airballs a 3 on the next possession.
That is
Yeah,
true.
but we're
He
not
does
talking
do that.
about that. We're talking about dunking.
Yeah, we're talking about dunking, Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Dunks.
I just can't get his seasons at Michigan State out of my head. They're just so beautiful. You guys want to talk about that for a little bit? His turn at Michigan.
This might become my second hate, so please stop.
Jake, who else was on that list?
I hate the fact that Tom Izzo wasted the greatest collection of talent at Michigan State ever to lose in the second round to Syracuse to a bunch of 6'6" white guys with super long wingspans.
Dude, Ben Carter got hosed, man. He need more minutes.
They couldn't have given him any more minutes.
They gave
He
him
had
so
all
many
of the
minutes.
minutes. He had all of the minutes.
He really, really had every single minute. I'm trying to find the list of things. I'll let you guys know in a minute. Sean, what's your hate for this week?
Jalen Green. This is just
Oh
gonna
shit, yeah.
a roast session by everyone in this chat, I bet. But yeah, he made some comments about how he's glad he's in Houston, that he didn't want to play in a city like Detroit, like that same old shit. After 2 weeks ago, or not before the draft, he said, "Man, I really want to play in Detroit." Like, he's just contradicting himself. He's annoying, retroactively saying this shit about Like, we're not going to pick you, man. Like, he's hurt. It seems like he's hurt about it. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the same feeling you guys
Fuck
get.
Jalen Green. All my homies hate Jalen Green.
Yeah, fuck Jalen Green. Also, he took a shit on Detroit, so I did some research about his hometown of Fresno.
Yes, please, Mike, go off.
And I would like to make a few comments. Okay, first of all, Fresno has a population of 70,000, which is smaller than the city of Troy, Michigan. It has no professional sports teams.
Go off, King.
Yeah, no professional sports teams.
Uh-huh.
It is, if you Google like what is Fresno, California known for, it'll say it's known for its agriculture, which means it's a piece of shit city that's in a
When's that
cornfield.
helped anyone?
So is Fowlerville, Michigan.
It just means it's a bad city is when it's known for its agriculture. It's 4 hours away from any cooler cities in California. It's literally stuck in the middle of it. There's nothing out there other than Yosemite and like 3 other national parks. But other than that, it sucks. It also notably did not invent the automobile. So fuck Fresno, fuck Jalen Green.
Yeah, fuck Jalen Green.
Everywhere, Jalen Green.
Yeah, one of our most liked tweets of all time on our Twitter account, follow us at Moving Forward Pod, FWD Pod, is that we are an anti-Jalen Green podcast. So every time he does something good, we will immediately hate on him. And forever, we hate him.
Yep.
We pray for his downfall.
We're about to be the player hater of the year.
Yeah. Invite this podcast to the Player Hater Ball. You hear that, Dave Chappelle? Invite us.
I was gonna say, we're gonna
Also, Dave Chappelle, if you want to come on as a guest,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome anytime you want.
Yeah, I
Open
love you,
invite.
Dave Chappelle, please. But circling back to that top dunkers list, Zion, 97 overall dunk rating. Sure. Zach LaVine, 95.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Aaron Gordon, 95.
Yeah.
I feel like he's fallen off since his dunk competition days, but
Yeah.
sure. Derek Jones Jr., 94. And then
Oh,
John
yeah,
Morant,
exactly.
94.
I feel like he's just in that. He's like in that range.
He's
I
got
feel
to be
like
like a
he's in that
93.
He's in that 93, 94
Yeah.
range.
I also just think 2K releases garbage ratings like this. So
Yeah, just to make people mad.
because we're literally doing what they want us to do. We're talking about it right now.
Yeah.
We're about 2K now.
Their
darn
their shot tendencies every single year are absolute garbage, but I refuse to get into it. So Adam and Logan, please tell us your hates for this week, because my hate might end up being 2K by the end of this episode, even though I'm so excited for 2K22.
Yeah, I guess my hate is just crunchy peanut butter because
Oh, solid.
I accidentally bought it. I didn't look at the peanut butter, and I'm a creamy peanut butter guy.
Agreed.
I accidentally bought the crunchy one, and it just is making my peanut butter and jellies 10 times worse.
Agreed.
So
I'm
having a rough week.
I'm a versatile peanut butter lover. I enjoy crunchy or creamy.
Creamy is
I think-
superior.
Yes.
I figured you would say that since you have you have very high standards.
I've
for food.
expanded my palate. I ate a salad
what?
for lunch.
To what? Like
He's eating
Anyway.
cinnamon Pop Tarts now.
Brown sugar.
Throughout
I
this-
was always eating cinnamon Pop
No,
Tarts.
they're brown sugar cinnamon.
Oh.
Oh, give me some credit, Mike.
We're really going in on Jake today. We call him
Yeah.
a deadbeat. Told me
It's It's my birthday tomorrow. You know what? This podcast usually is the Hate on Jacob podcast, and it's kind of tough. I sit here and take it, but for one episode, just one day, I just wanted sweet,
It's not your birthday yet.
happy day.
Yeah,
that's a
maybe
good
you
one.
should. Maybe we should have recorded
Maybe
on your
tomorrow.
birthday, pal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All
I'm
right.
just joking.
For my hate is going to be my speed eating. I think it's been something I take a lot of pride in, but it's caught up to me in the professional world. We've recently started going out to lunches with some of our work teams, and it's gotten to the point where people have started commenting on the rate that I eat food at.
You got to keep that out of the business setting.
Yeah,
You got to get that out.
It's so we've been going to Qdoba. We went to Qdoba a couple 3 days in a row the other week.
Official sponsor of this podcast, Qdoba.
Yeah, official sponsor. Yep. And I finished my meal probably I'd say 5 to 6 minutes before everyone, and it's just awkward when you're sitting there.
Did you order your 2 burrito balls too?
No, I got a massive burrito bowl. I got that thing loaded up though. But you just sit there with your food done, looking around, and everyone's still eating. And it's a consistent thing no matter who I go out with. So, and the other day we went to go get pizza. So I tried to forcibly make myself slowly eat pizza. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I don't think I've ever been mentally challenged more than that moment.
Logan's going through the struggle over there. I know the similar thing. For some reason, I don't know if it's all women or just my girlfriend, but she eats super, super slow. So I try to slow myself down while eating. And I just slowly feel like I'm just nibbling at food when I just want to stuff my face with food and just get on to the next thing. I don't know if it's I'm impatient or what. I don't know.
I feel that pain. I feel that pain a lot. Nothing else to add. I just feel the pain.
Yeah, I just don't get it. All right, Mike, wrap us up. What's your hate?
All right, my hate today is wet pants because I was getting out of my car this morning and I had a coffee with me and I spilled the entire coffee on my pants, soaked them through, got my car seat all wet, and then I had to sit and work for 2 hours to like do work in these wet ass pants. And I had to go to the DMV to get my driver's license. And I was sitting, you know how like when you have like when you're wearing wet pants, like your nuts kind of like clench up, you
Yes.
squeeze your butt cheeks together a little bit. When my driver's license picture, because I'm wearing these wet pants, is like it was very uncomfortable and I hated it. Wet pants.
That's awful. Wet pants and probably wet socks are up there as some of the most uncomfortable things that you can possibly wear. Like I think wet socks might be number one, but wet pants is a close number two.
Yeah.
It's
wet pants is bad. Socks is terrible. That's why you wear sandals.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, I don't want to see you wearing any sandals, you haters.
Better
You
not see
won't.
those toes.
Yeah.
These toes will be hidden for the rest of the
It'll be
summer.
my favorite thing of the day if I do.
Pizza won't be eating toast.
Yeah.
So that will be wrapping up our love-hate segment. A pretty good segment from everybody. Thank you for making me feel a little bit worse about myself today. A brand new segment next, hosted by Logan and Adam, a Would You Rather segment. Stay tuned after this. All right, we are back with our brand new Would You Rather segment. I will now turn this over to our producers, Logan and Adam. What are we talking about today? Tell us. Give us some scenarios for this Would You Rather.
So we're going to have a couple different situations here. We're going to have 4 different situations. 2 of them are going to be sports related. 2 are going to be kind of out of the blue related. So we'll go out of the blue sports. All right. First one started off. Would you rather poop in the only toilet at a party, knowing that you'll clog it, or poop in the bushes in the backyard?
Oh, pushing in the
backyard
for sure.
Backyard for sure.
The toilet.
But then you're the guy who poops in the bushes.
I'm pooping in the toilet. What do you mean?
You're going to clog the toilet. You're guaranteed to clog the toilet.
I'm not going to claim that I clogged the toilet. I'm just going to clog it and disappear.
Jake, but it's the only bathroom. They're going to see you walk out.
I think
somebody's going to know.
I think it depends on if you know whose party you're at. Like if you know the homeowner.
There's a lot of.
I'm not pooping in bushes. I'm not a Neanderthal. I've never shit outside ever in my life. I don't feel comfortable doing it.
Do I get to wipe?
I will.
I mean, do I have to wipe with my environment or can I wipe with a
I feel like this is a sock situation. Like you do not have the supplies that you need.
Can I use a garden hose as a bidet?
If it's nearby,
I was
yes.
thinking outside the box.
Okay. I think I'm still going with that
because system is on, and I use that as a bidet. No, I'm on board with shitting outside now.
Yeah, I'm shitting outside.
I talked my way into it.
Yep.
No, I'm staying strong with my.
Now you're the poop guy, though.
I don't care. I'd rather be the poop guy than the shit in the bushes guy.
At the party, talk about the
no, you can get away with it though.
Toilet.
You could get away with it, and even if you don't, you can be like, "Oh yeah, I was the guy who shit outside."
Very true. You're not.
How is that the cool guy?
Like 5 to 10 people.
I'm not saying it's a cool guy. Yeah.
But like some people might like get over it quick, but again, 5 to 10 people at that party will never not remember you as the poop guy.
I'll be the poop guy. I'd rather be the poop guy than the fucking guy who, I don't know. I rather clog
Don't
the
see me
toilet.
shit outside. It's just me in the open road.
I disagree. I think somebody might catch you. I don't know. I'm sticking with my guns, and I'm staying with, you know what? I'm clogging that fucking toilet, and I'm gonna say, oh, sorry, that was me. But I'd rather be the guy who clogs the toilet than the guy who gets seen shitting outside in the bushes. So,
Nobody said you get seen.
No one said.
but no one said that
thinking that in your head.
but no one says that you're not getting seen. So you're just thinking that you're gonna get away with this. You know how many times at a party people randomly stumble outside to either A, puke or just be outside? Like that happens all the time.
You have plausible deniability. Everybody's drunk. If somebody blames you, you just blame them.
That's the same
They're gonna be
exact
like-
thing for clogging the toilet.
Yeah, but they know
Yours
you
is a
did.
much higher rate of being caught.
Yeah.
And if I get caught outside, I'll just tell them to join me, brother. Like this is the
You're-
experience I
You're
Join
have.
me in
thinking-
arms.
No.
Hey, grab that garden hose. Give me a
Grab it,
spray
brother.
down.
This is some primal shit we're doing right now.
No. I
Like our ancestors, man.
disagree.
All
100%.
right.
That's settled.
All right, switching it up just a little bit. Would you rather have to start a franchise with Kevin Durant or Larry Bird? So if you're starting a franchise for the 2021-2022 season, would you rather have rookie Kevin Durant or rookie Larry Bird? Assuming either player will become as good as they did.
Kevin Durant. Easy.
Yeah. I would just do Kevin Durant strictly off of longevity. He just played way longer than Larry Bird did or ever would. Larry Bird only played 12 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
He had
If
one
I'm
of the
starting it
greatest-
now, though, I think like the time and the science was different.
Oh, well, if we're taking
True.
that into account, that's a real question then.
Also, like, are we
Kevin-
drafting Kevin Durant are we drafting them to like the 2008 Thunder or the 1980 Celtics? Because that also makes a difference. Because that
It's
Celtics
It's just like
team
a
is awesome.
generic.
I would
It's just
say
like a
just today,
generic
yeah.
team.
We're breaking this down too much. I think just based
It's
on
Kevin
off
Durant.
the top of my head, it's gotta be Kevin Durant.
I
Not
just
thinking
wanted to
about
zag.
Kevin.
I was also gonna say Kevin Durant, but you guys both said it.
Yeah, there's
I just
nothing
feel like
to do
it-
about
I
that.
can't defend Larry Bird. I'm an avid like
Kevin Durant's
80s
like one of the
basketball head.
biggest freaks of nature.
Yeah,
all
you're right.
time
I
in
can't.
NBA.
You can't argue it.
Yeah.
Kevin
It-
Durant.
I just think it's just a personal opinion. I might be wrong. I might offend some old heads or whatever, but I just think Kevin Durant's better than Larry Bird. Sorry.
He is 100%.
He is.
Okay.
He does everything Larry Bird can do, but just 7 foot. At 7
like-
foot.
Athletic.
Yeah.
All right. So
All
we're in agreement.
All right, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, good
Easy.
job, guys. Hey.
All righty. Next one coming up. You can replace one finger on either hand with the following. So I'm going to name a couple things. You guys can choose which one you want. First one, refillable lighter, a 6-inch stainless steel blade, a rechargeable 2000 lumen flashlight, a spork, or a Sharpie that never goes dry.
Oh. I'm gonna have to go.
Well, this says one finger on either hand, so I think you can.
So I get to
think
pick what finger and which
one
hands.
exactly. Yes. So specify which hand, which finger, and which object.
The
All right,
problem is
I'm
is
gonna-
with three
Sorry.
of the objects, they all are pretty deadly. Like not the sport. I would say 2 of them are pretty deadly. Because there's a pretty good chance I kill someone if I get one of those. So I have to go with the flashlight. And I'm gonna go with the lighter too. I don't know what that would do, but for me, I don't know.
Sharpie's pretty deadly too, man. The pen's mightier than the sword.
So do I have to pick one item for each hand?
Yes.
Is that how
Yes.
it works? So I'm
Think
going to
so.
go pinky finger on both hands. I'm going Sharpie pinky finger on right hand because I'm right with my right hand, obviously. And then left hand, I'm pretty good with eating with my left hand. So I'm going spork on the other hand. I never have to worry about bringing utensils to anything ever again. So I'm going spork and Sharpie.
I think I'm gonna go lighter on this finger, spork on this one, and then you can use it to heat up drugs without any other materials needed.
That'd be a hot seller amongst crack addicts.
Yeah.
Next
Dude,
greatest addicts.
I just think the spork is super underrated because I've been noticing recently, like I've been working like a lot of 10-hour shifts at work and I have to bring my own lunch sometimes if I don't feel like spending money. And like, I it's no problem bringing like a dish with all the food in it, but sometimes I forget the utensils. So always having a spork would be absolutely awesome. I would love that. That'd be an ideal way to live,
Yeah, there's
especially for
nothing-
me.
There's nothing you can't eat now.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it's unlimited.
I
don't know.
got
The spork's
Got
got to
it.
be a must-have. I'm walking back my tape. Flashlight and a spork. That's the only answer.
Can you eat in the dark?
Only different options.
it's actually the best dining experience, eating in the dark, you know.
Mhm.
Really brings out the other senses.
Flashlight for when you're shitting in the bushes.
A spork for when you're
Spork
shitting
to
in
get
the
it
bushes.
out.
Yes, spork to get it out. Damn it. Beat me there.
With the 6-inch steel blade is for cutting it off.
Be able to get a bidet on one finger too.
Yeah.
I just can't even think about the
Spork gun.
amount of things that could possibly go wrong with that 6-inch blade. Like I would
Yeah.
never want that.
That's what I was trying to say originally. That's just a liability waiting to happen.
Like,
that's-
what if you like sleep on your hand wrong and you just stab yourself in like while you're sleeping? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And
What if
then
you go to shake somebody's hand and you stab them in the chest.
It's like the Wolverine
Able to shake
thing
a
from
hand
one of
again.
the. It's like the Wolverine thing from one of the Wolverine movies where he just wakes up in the middle of the night and he accidentally killed his girlfriend because he just shanked her with his claws. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be that guy.
that's just some dark shit.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
like that. And you can when you're trying to shit in a bush, what's a knife gonna do to help you with that?
Fend off, or you could like take care of the people who come
Fend off
outside
drunk
and catch
people. Yeah.
This is my spot. When the other guy comes to join you.
you're just swatting with your hand up with your knife out.
I got a knife finger.
Your
And I
buddy,
got a shit spot. You get out of here.
your buddy with
I
the sport finger
guarantee
comes
you would-
up and helps you out.
You would never get
Oh,
invited
everybody's
to
got
another
all-
party.
Yeah,
again.
everyone at the party.
Oh,
There's just a shit laying in the bushes and a dead body. Be like, I only took the shit. I don't know what happened to the body. I don't know.
You have a bloody knife on your hand.
Michael. Oh. All right. What's our
Uh,
last would you rather?
All right. Would you rather, or which would you rather have? A quarterback who's guaranteed 350 yards passing and 3 touchdowns a game, or a running back who's guaranteed 175 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns a game for 10 years?
How
Do we
long
get
does the
to-
quarterback last?
Yeah. How long does the quarterback last?
They both last 10 years.
Oh, they're both 10 years?
Badly
Running
worded
back.
question.
Yeah.
The running back.
Yeah, I have to go with the running back.
Quarterback.
Ooh.
Huh.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
Mm.
I think you're smart or something, dude.
I'm just thinking that if you're already opening up the running game this much with this running back, then the quarterback's going to feast regardless. You could have a really great quarterback, but that means your run game could be shit. I think your run game is really going to open up the pass game here, Michael. I think you're small braining this idea. I don't know.
I'm pretty much just asking for Matthew Stafford.
Oh, yeah. You're basically just asking to be the Detroit Lions for the last 10 years.
Yeah, we didn't get to it in the TV section, but watching Hard Knocks, there's like a little scene that popped up when the Rams scrimmage them.
Stop.
It was hard. I saw him, guys. I saw him in another man's uniform. It's kind of weird, but my stomach dropped when I saw it. I was actually like heartbroken
Mm,
doing it. He's really on another team, guys. Rest in peace.
Quarterback.
And the podcast.
And this podcast.
Cut it.
All right.
Can I
We're
do
going
an
to end it.
honorable mention.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear an honorable mention.
Would you rather have penis-sized nipples or nipple-sized penis?
I would like that.
Penis-sized nipples or nipple-sized penis. Oh man, that's a lot.
So would I rather
Pretty
have
big.
would I rather have a micro penis or like really long nipples? I think I'd take the really long nipples just because they probably wouldn't be that much different than what they already are.
man.
So it's like
Imagine having your shirt off with really long nipples.
that'd be hysterical.
The optics on that one.
A nipple-sized penis is a bit of an upgrade for me, so I'm going with that.
All right, that'll do it for this episode of the Moving Forward podcast. The honorable mention just made things worse. We should have wrapped it before then. Again, follow our Instagram and Twitter, Moving Forward Pod, Moving FWD Pod. You can follow the TikTok, The Moving Forward Pod, all the way spelled out. And then obviously we post the YouTube version of the podcast early. That'll be up late Thursday night. And yeah, like and subscribe there. I plan on doing some 2K rebuilds and shit like that once 2K comes out. But till then, We'll see you guys next time. And yeah, don't shit outside at a party. Peace.
Or do.
Let's do it.